everyone and welcome to the Anime's Ilia, and today let's talk about episode 4, that's the 4 of Darwin's game. And surprisingly, we start off this week's episode with seeing how Rein basically started playing the game. So essentially, we see her snake bite. And honestly, she looks a bit younger than as she is now, so it must have been like a couple of years or so that she's been playing this game. And the first awakening of her Sigurth, I thought was pretty cool as well, because it looks like that she can base it on information surrounding her or a person, buildings, environment, any information that she can get a hold of. She can kind of use that information and almost predict the way a scenario is going to play out. Now, honestly, that seems pretty cool. And we could have guessed that her Sigurth would be something to do with information and analytical based, but I don't think we could have predicted quite what she actually has in this capacity. So, if we take a look, its name is Laplace. 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 Yep. Anyway, I can't pronounce it yet, but that's the name of it, and honestly, it's pretty cool. This ability is something I personally wouldn't mind having in real life, because it would be pretty useful. Like, say for example, just strolling through the street, and oh, there's a truck. I can get isekai'd. Awesome, jump in the way. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Anyway, so that ability would be pretty useful because it's not too overpowered, yet it's very unique and it's kind of almost like Ultra Instinct, if I'm pretty honest, which is pretty cool. So, saying that though, this ability would not allow her to kind of go up against like the big names that we know of, like Shuka and the leader of what is it, Aces or Spades or whatever it's called. You know, the guy with the ability to kind of slice people. And, you know, the one who threw that girl off the top of the building in episode 2. I think it was at the end. So basically, that ability is useful. But saying that, she would know quite a bit of information about Shuka and that clan leader. But unfortunately, I think they'll be too overpowered and they'll know of her ability to kind of, get out of that situation. However, for fodder like we have in this episode, she's able to use the information, and bearing in mind it's very little information that she has on them, to kind of evade, escape, and dodge the bullets that are being shot at her. And this was awesome because it gives us a great showcasing of what her character is capable of. Because we get the backstory, but we also get to see her combat skills, and honestly, I'm finding myself liking this character more and more as the episode continues. I thought this character might actually be a typical kind of information geek control type of person. You know, a girl that sits behind a keyboard typing away and isn't very combat ready. And I was shocked because, yeah, she's a lot better. This little info broker is surprisingly strong and a great character and adds a great kind of action sequence and a great overall vibe to this episode, and I'm grateful for that. So then, the Shiro Emiya from the Fate Stay Night references still continue. Because Kaname gets this weird inner self-talk type of thing, and while he's looking and learning and thinking about his power, there's this blacksmith, and this is what it looks like. Now, looking at this, it looks like an older version of Kaname. And yeah, so is it his future self? You know, like how Archer was the future version of Shiro. You get what I'm saying? I know it isn't exactly the same thing, but you know, it's kind of like the same idea, almost. It's like that meme. Can I copy your homework? Yeah, sure, but just don't make it look like you copied it. So, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like, maybe this character on the screen now is like a future version of Kaname, and is kind of like, he's guiding him and telling him about his power. Or it could be his father, which we know nothing about his father in the anime, which, to be honest, anime parents, Unless they play an important role, then we don't really know much about them anyway. But I just thought that was pretty funny. Now, let's have a look at this. Plant armor. Really? Well, anyway, I guess this was kind of predictable considering we didn't know if he was going to be a fighter or just someone that likes to hide behind a computer again. And honestly, this plant armor, I'm conflicted about it really. As it sounds dumb, but honestly, I love the design. It looks awesome. And it's kind of weird though because the mask kind of goes like what it is on the screen now. But then it kind of closes or opens up and it doesn't hold the same shape. So it's always bending. I love the fact that it has the tail that can kind of grow and as well. That was pretty cool. Honestly, looking at this visually, it looks like a plant version of Janemba. That's just the vibe I'm getting. That's from Dragon Ball if anybody's wondering. Now, this plant armor is surprisingly strong and resistant, and it's pretty much only taken out in this episode because of enhanced bullets. They destroyed the armor and shield combo, and it's beaten by Kaname, and, let's just say Aspels, because, that's pretty much what happened in this episode. He was like, my power, I need more, I need to change it. Oh, wait, I got more bullets. I got less stamina for the weapon. I don't know. Was it? Yeah. I'm thinking of Zelda with the whole kind of, use your weapon so many times and it breaks type of situation here. But yeah, let's move on. So, all in all, I actually thought that this episode was an improvement on last week's episode. Last week's episode gave us the intriguing kind of idea of the team up between Rein and Kaname, and this episode gave us like the kind of action proportion of that team up, and it worked very well in my personal opinion. These two kind of complement each other quite nicely. I like the fact though that Kaname kind of came up with a plan, and then Rein kind of added on to the plan to kind of make it more robust and more likely to kind of succeed. Because she was saying through this episode that it only has there's like an 80% chance of dying if they followed the plan exactly as Kaname was saying. So, who knows? Maybe we'll see these two people team up more in the future, because it looks like there's going to be some more conflict between other clans and this building. So to see that happening might be pretty interesting, and we could have Plant Guy joining Kaname and Rein, because they kind of try and make a deal at the end so that they can all survive instead of dying separately, because they're all pretty much wiped out. Kaname's used his ability way too many times and is near enough out of action at this point. He blacks out basically. Rein is kind of, she's been using her Sigilyph so much that I would imagine, and running upstairs, like come on, this girl ran up, I think it was at least, it's quite a lot of flights of stairs anyway. And she fended off quite a few, not formidable opponents, but, there's strength in numbers. So, going forward, I can see there being a lot more fights. Shuka is probably going to join up and help out our heroes, because she's trying to find Kaname anyway. So, that's probably going to happen. But honestly, the fight in this episode and the information about Rein, I actually really did like. And the one thing I would say I'm disappointed in is the fact that Kaname didn't kill or try and kill this the florist, or whatever they want to call him. But I understand why he didn't want to, because the man said he will be dying soon anyway due to a disease, and there's always more shame in living with the fact that you've killed people before you die, then obviously dying, you can't repent or you can't feel guilty if you die straight away. Lock yourself up or keep yourself alive and actually honour the dead, even if you're the one who killed them. That's kind of the vibe I got from the reason as to why Kaname didn't want to kill him, as well as the fact that he's a bit of a wuss. But all in all, I wouldn't have minded a situation where Kaname tries to kill him, and then Rein comes in and goes, no, wait, stop. I'm going to try and make a deal because we really need this. But like I said, they look like they'll be teaming up because they need his skills and his kind of abilities for the next wave of conflict against the other clan members. So all around, this episode has some good animation, great sound effects. Nothing was too loud or obnoxious in this episode in terms of the sound effects. We can speculate a bit more in the future with like this future version of Kaname or whoever this blacksmith is. We've seen a good variety of skills and showcasing from Rein's character, and we see Kaname actually pull in some good matches. Like, for example, we beat Shuka, but that's not really, his achievement because, she kind of fancies him, really. He beat the bunny guy, or the rabbit dude, I can't remember what it was now. And that kind of was an achievement, but he just mostly ran away and managed to get lucky. So this is really his first major win that he's managed to get under his belt, and anyone who betted on him winning, like they betted in last week's episode on anyone, probably just won himself a good sum of money. So with that being said, I enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys did too. If you did, hit the like button on this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Again, I know this is behind on the official release. However, please try not to spoil anything in the comment sections down below. But if you've got any interesting thoughts about this episode, then please share them. I look forward to hearing them. Anyway, that being said, have a great day. Catch you later. Bye.